his already growing collection.
And Rich, there's no doubt both golfers will be nervous until they get that very first tee shot.
The first tee shot is probably the most difficult because you've been thinking about that shot since the night before. Once you get that first shot out of the way, you calm down, you're a little more settled, you're not quite as anxious or nervous, and you sort of get into the rhythm of the round. You want to get off to the best start possible, and obviously that starts with that first tee shot.
Okay. You want to sit back up?
Well, there he is, Rory McIlroy, a past U.S. Open winner, set to tee off on what could be an historic day of golf, set against the beautiful Puget Sound. And he's underway. Frank, it looks like a good one.
It looked like a free-flowing swing, that's for sure. Certainly betrayed the nervous feeling that we thought he might be feeling on the first tee. And a huge tee shot.
Well, you've been there, Frank. Nerves are good on the first tee, even for great players.
If you can control them.
Save some biscuit then.
Frank, tricky little shot from 145 for McIlroy.
You'd imagine with a little bit of nervous energy, probably only a wedge though for Rory. Just something in between the flag and the bunkers on the right. Use the terrain of the green.
That's the one, okay, big guy?
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Looks to be a good one, Frank.
Oh, nestles inside 15 feet, so a birdie chance coming up for Rory.
Frank, not only does Rory McIlroy have the physical tools that you need to be a dominant player, but he thinks clearly. Good head on his shoulders.
And he's in that rare company, 4 or more majors under the age of 25. You're looking at Nicklaus and Tiger Woods, the only other 2 that come to mind. And the styles of play, they're all different. And Rory plays his way. And I think you have to be a pioneer. You have to realize that your way of playing the golf is superior, because to imitate at this level, you will not be successful. Birdie straight out of the gate.
Beautifully done.
I think making putts early in a round is very important. It sets the tone for the day and it gives you some positive momentum early. You see the ball go into the hole and it gives you confidence. You face a downhill putt at a US Open with greens that are as tricky as that, it just makes it even more difficult. I feel like you always face important putts no matter when it is, but obviously they're that much more important when, you know, it's the final round of a major.
Now over to the second. McIlroy with a challenging downhill putt. And I know it's early, but this is the type of putt that can really generate some momentum for the rest of the day.
Well, this putt's only 12 feet, Rich, but it's downhill. And because of that, it's going to be very, very fast. You're almost going to putt this like it's only about 8 feet long. Well, the speed of the green to take it the extra distance.
There you go. Can you hear that? There you go. Okay. Enough? Thanks, Dad.
Not that time, but not for lack of effort. All right, just needs to clean this one up.
It's still a good start for McIlroy. Birdie par start.
After an impressive drive, Rory just 165 yards out, faced with this uphill approach shot.
So play closer to about 175 yards though, Rich, because of that uphill. So probably an extra club. But Rory, even though he grew up in Northern Ireland, where it's windy, is a naturally high ball hitter.
Game, man, Rory. I don't care about the bloody winning all these majors. Club.
It's a good strike. Good swing by McIlroy. And no problem finding the putting surface.
He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does.
What? Just leave it then. What's the matter?
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par.
There's some times when there might be a wait on a tee box, or you've played your shot and you're waiting on your playing partners to hit their shots, and you just look around and
Come on, Rory. I don't
you realize where you are, because you don't really, you don't appreciate it that much whenever you're playing, and that's not what you're thinking about. You're thinking about trying to win a golf tournament and not really taking in the beauty of your surroundings.
Heat of a U.S. Open championship, you're thinking about grinding out pars, but it's hard to miss this view, Frank. They call it Olympus, and with good reason.
It certainly is. A lovely view, virtually, of the whole golf course from here. But this hole, that's the one that Rory's going to worry about right now. Downhill, so it's going to play well short of its normal yardage. Going to have to club accordingly. And look at the shape of that green, how it angles from the left to the right. Consequently, when that flag is on that right section, you have to fly that ball every inch of the way.
Thanks, Dad. Oops, sorry. I don't even know what I'm getting to.
Safely aboard. Long putt here. This will require a good touch.
Oh, fucking hell, Billy. What? Right. Yeah. Yeah. And this is another dragon pup.
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
So a tester from 4 feet.
How did that not go in?
That's costly right there.
Painful.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. And just like the lone fir tree, there is now just one man with the lead, Martin Keimer. Rory now in second behind Keimer, looking at a difficult second shot here at the par 3 15th.
Missed the green on the left, Rich. Just that pot bunker between him and the hole. And there's only about 8 or 9 feet of green to work with. So this flop shot is going to have to be hit very high to make sure that ball lands soft. And at this point, it's critical to save par.
What? What? You're tired? 2 minutes, please.
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
Well, that's disappointing. He misses the par putt, and he'll have this for bogey. That's too bad. This will be a disappointing bogey late in the round for McIlroy.
Might just be too much to come back from.
Final few holes to play, especially of a major championship like the US Open. You know, it's what you've worked so hard for. It's what, you know, you've put all those hours of practice in for, and you know, this is your moment. This is your moment to see what you've got against the best players in the world and test yourself at the ultimate level. There's obviously a lot of pressure. You know, you don't want to let an opportunity like this pass you by. You don't want to let it slip. So just stay really focused, really concentrated. Try to take one shot at a time. Try and put the result out of your mind. Control what you can control. But saying that, it is difficult with so many things going on around you, whether it be the crowds or it could be the person that you're going up against. You know, there's so many things that you can't control, but you know, the things that you can control, that's what you have to concentrate on, and that's what you have to try and, you know, do to the best of your ability. And if you can do that, that's what gives you the best chance to try and win a huge tournament like the US Open.
Well, you couldn't ask for anything more. We're at the 17th. tie atop the leaderboard. Two former U.S. Open champions, 2 holes left to play. This is really one of golf's best moments.
And we're looking at 2 of golf's finest, and this hole isn't going to be about power, Rich. It's going to be about precision. And so aptly, this 17th hole is named derailed. Somebody just might be derailed on this very hole.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
Oops.
Now McIlroy cleaning up here at 17.
That's just a poor putt right there. No other way to say it. And a drop shot, a bogey at 17.
I fucking hit it right.
And he makes it for a bogey.
And I'm just hit his left leg. Want you some toast?
Frank, this has been just a fantastic week, and these last few shots are going to determine the entire championship.
Rich, normally you'd think par on the 72nd hole would be good enough to win a U.S. Open, but this par 5 is certainly reachable by these players. Par, no doubt, will not be good enough.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
What a great drive on the final hole.
You know, Rich, so often we associate U.S. Opens with just a straight slog, par after par, but this is a real treat. Keimer at his best, McIlroy at their best, playing anything other than U.S. Open style. This is a totally different generation.
Brilliant golf by the 2 Europeans. Well, too bad. He'll have to play from the bunker. Third shot coming up now from the bunker.
Can still birdie the closing hole.
Rory for birdie to put some pressure on Martin Keimer. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line. Even
the door was open, but Martin Keimer slammed it shut. Keimer, the U.S. Open champion yet again. It came down to the final hole. Keimer really put on a show. This will forever be remembered as one of the best finishes in major championship history.
Lose a lead, or you lose a major, or it doesn't quite work out the way you had hoped. At that moment in time, there's obviously a lot of disappointment, but I think that passes, and you use that as motivation for the next one, and that's the only way you can view it. You can't feel sorry for yourself, or you can't get down about it, because what's happened's happened. The past is the past, and you move on. But you use it as motivation not to let it happen again. My toughest loss was the 2011 Masters, when I had a 4-shot lead going into the final round, and you completely blew up on the back 9. It was a very tough moment for me. It was very disappointing, but I used that as motivation to say to myself, that's not going to happen again. That's not the player I am. That's not the player I want to be. And I used it in a way that 70 days later I won my first US Open and my first major. So sometimes disappointments can be catalysts for good things to happen in the future, and it's just how you react to it. And I feel like, you know, if you react to your disappointments in the right way, they can be very beneficial.
Yeah, right, okay, Rory, let me just fucking play. You cheated me enough. What's he doing? What's he doing? Just...
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo at the famous Old Course, the home of golf in St. Andrews. And Frank, so often, even the greats of the game, when they come here for the very first time, they scratch their heads. They say, I don't get it. Why all the commotion about the Old Course? And then they play it a few times and they begin to come around. What happens to people after they've played the Old Course a few times?
Well, it's going to sound like a cliche, but you fall in love with it. And I'm like everybody else. When I first played it, I didn't think it was special. Then when I played it the next time, the wind was different. The next time, and after all these years, every time you play it, it just appears a little different. But one thing you should do, take a local caddy. They'll point you into some interesting directions to try and navigate all those evil little pop bunkers.
I did take one of the local caddies, and I pulled one left into the junk. And like every other golfer, I turned to my caddy and I said, hey, Jimmy, is that okay? And he said, does that look okay? Hit another one? And I did. But this one has a chance to be really good. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Might need some wings just to clear this hazard.
That water is looking rather intimidating.
After hitting it in the drink, this is the fourth shot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. The scorecard is quickly adding up.
And he's made it onto the green now.
It's no snack, though.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
I'm sad he's going to be disappointed.
This for double bogey. So, 2 over par for the round. Trying to get the round off to a good start. Frank, we're at the second hole, and what's ahead?
Well, the ideal tee shot just a little over that gorse bush in front of you, which is down the right side. That's the best angle in. But it also brings in a little bit of trouble. But if that pin is anywhere towards the middle of this double green, then really you want to be coming in from the right side.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. I don't know what happened there, but he missed it badly. Well to the right. Chance to get it close here. Frank, there's a real art to putting a good score on the board, isn't there?
Yeah, that's why stroke play is so tough, Rich. You know, you're trying to minimize everything on a golf course. Turn a 6 into a 5 or a 4 into a 3. It's like even off the edge of a green, trying to get up and down in 2 rather than 3. And you've got to do it for 18 straight holes. If it's a 72-hole tournament, then you've got to do it for 4 straight days. And that's why that's always been the best predictor of our best players. The ones that can go 4 days and make the least number of mistakes.
So, Frank, that's a bogey, and you see something with the body language here?
Yeah, I think we noticed that back there with that double bogey, Rich. Since then, it's almost like doubts crept in, a little bit of uncertainty. That is the beauty of this game at times, but really, if you want to be a champion, that's one thing that you have to change. Somehow, you've got to forget what's just happened. We haven't seen that yet.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon. Well, par 4s, they're not all the same, Rich, but after that tee shot, I guess you can say this one's going to be easy.
That was a beauty right there. Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot. What a nice shot. Right on the green and a pretty easy putt on the wet. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Good morning. You playing golf player you want to watch?
Man,
Sweet
Just pushed it.
boy, that hurts.
Hi. I know it bloody hurts.
Bit of a struggle early on, 3 over. Frank, the challenge begins to intensify here at the 4th.
Yeah, a bit risky if you try and hit it down the right side. Just about every player I've seen over the years has sort of aired a little bit to the left. That's the safer tee shot, but it does set up a very daunting second.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Hi. You
He has
okay?
all those options now.
Yes,
That ball's
good.
sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
Dad, I can see it through your. I can see it through there.
Yeah, reflection you mean?
What? You can see them because you're see-through.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
Down.
Still can't putt for shit. Sorry. You want your toast?
Just a couple of feet.
Right.
3 over for the day. Par 5s, this is where players look to make the move in a major championship. How does this 5th hole par 5 measure up, Frank?
Well, if you can avoid the bunkers, they're actually left and right, but especially that little group of 3 bunkers, then it sets up well. It'll be a blind second shot, but you try and guide your second shot between the 2 bunkers on the hill in front of you, which are called the spectacles.
Dad, if Leon's going into the favorite
Good see?
place and I'm going into the nursery
I know you are.
myself,
Yeah, but he can't wait.
Should I go get jelly in my car?
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Wow, he moved that a long ways right in the fairway.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich. This eagle on the cards. Hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick.
Probably.
And he's putting for eagle now. Oh, I thought he had that. Frank, he had to make a run at that one.
Oh, yeah, good effort. Let's see if he can make birdie, but Oda put an eagle on the scorecard, what that would have meant to him.
That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive.
Back to +1.
Moving on to the par
Just do
4
it.
6th hole here at the birthplace of golf. This hole shares a green actually with the 12th. How do you work your way around this hole, Frank?
Some sort of tee shot, 3 bunkers that look like they're in the left center of the fairway and a series of bunkers down the right. So somehow bisect those, and then you set yourself up to a green with a false front. One of the things I think that's captivated the audience now with Rory McIlroy is he's doing things that we thought only one other player could do, and that's Tiger Woods. When you can streak fields in a major championship by nearly double figures, that's when you're in a class in your own. And I know that's stating the obvious.
He has a gear, Frank, that I don't think other players have. You might be rolling along at 95 miles per hour, and you think you're moving, and you look to your right, and you blink and go, who was that? Somebody just went by me, and he's doing 125 and making it look easy.
Right.
This kid is really special.
Right, man, I did it wrong. Oh no, 50's there. Oh.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. Frank, I think what sets golf apart from other sports is that the fan can get so close to the great athlete as the round is being played.
Yeah, well, that's why the sport itself, and we consider it more intimate for that reason. Most golf spectators play the game. Whereas other sports, you don't see NFL players sitting in the grandstand. You see spectators, but most golf fans are golfers.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Chance to get on a real roll.
Yeah.
Let the birdie blitz begin.
Back here at the Open Championship on the 7th hole at the old course.
Yeah, blind tee shot. This is one hole that really does advantage the long hitter.
That's it, right?
They can get it very close to this green, but this green has got some amazing undulations in it.
No, you're going to get your own twist in a minute. Leave Layla's. No, I'm not getting it. You can. I'm making you a slice of toast. What? I'm making you toast. What? I'm making you toast. You have to. Look, you have to stop there. I forgot your plate. You tell them there like that. Pair of pants for Layla, Michelle. Pair of pants for Layla. Fucking stinks, Michelle. Been for a bath. My ass.
Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot
No,
in the
not
bunker.
really.
Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here. Oh, that was solid, Rich. This one's safely on.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Solid effort and reasonable result to stay at 1 over par.
Stop shouting.
Standing on the tee at the par 3
Whoa!
8 of the old course. And Frank, what are we looking at here?
One of the biggest greens on the golf course. It looks flat, it looks like it's easy, but once that flag gets on the left side, this one, the hole becomes a little bit more difficult. It's very easy to take this hole for granted. Very hard to hit it close, though.
Whatever, Michelle. I'm not fucking taking it all morning.
I'm getting up shortly. I'm trying to have a fucking sleep. Fucking pissing about the day again.
That's what I fucking do.
I'm fucking taking bottles, whinging.
Where did you go? I'll play. I must be funny.
Where that shit?
Right.
I'm trying to get my
Fucking stand up here, mate, and get fucking toast, yeah?
What?
Stand up here like that, do me? I thought she's still in the toilet. Get down, Layla. Layla, down the stair. You're not trying to toast up the stairs.
Michelle, I'm not. She stinks of piss, Michelle. Get us some jammies. Hello. How can a waste stink that much? She's had a bath. She stinks of piss already.
She never cleaned herself after she's
Rich, I
fucking
remember when I
gone
first
back.
played the old course, it was a Dunhill Cup. It was a team event. It was 3 players from each country around the world. And my teammates were Stuart Jim and Bob Charles, who'd won the Open Championship. And I remember pestering Bob Charles all the way around the golf course, the old course. Where do I aim? Do I get away from a bunker? And at the time, I thought he was a bit of a curmudgeon, really. Because the only thing he told me was not to hit it inside the TV tower on 17. And then I realised he gave me the greatest golf lesson I ever had. Because he was telling me to play the golf course the way I felt I should.
Play with your instincts, especially at a place like the old course at St. Andrews, where you don't necessarily play by the book. I don't know if there is a book to get you around St. Andrews, except the best book of all, and that's the one of experience.
What's the matter? You need to clean yourself.
I know that.
Why aren't you then? You get funny names. You get called funny names. That one. Yeah. Hey, like, lift up. Come on. Come on. Come on, get up, move. Put that on. Put that on. Is this one the right way? I'll put them back to front. Oh, for fuck's sake, let me move! You know, take it off again. Come on! Come on!
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. This one just requires a little bit of focus. He was fooled a little bit on that one, Frank. This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. Slipping just a bit, another bogey. And now 2 over par.
Don't tell me you
Frank, the Open Championship coming back to the home of golf this summer.
Yeah, and remember too, the last time it was here, Louis Oosthuizen at the 9th hole, he had no problem driving his par 4. So let's see if you can do the same. If you can carry that last bunker down there, there's every chance that your tee shot can run on this very flat green.
Come on then. This way.
Daddy, what's the way this boat I'm going to see like this?
Here it is.
Why are you in this cup?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yay, finally. Getting a bit big for you. I mean, tight for you. Come on, Layla, move. Like, what are you doing? You've got a toast up there that you can be eating, Blake.
Good, Daddy.
Right. Fucking hell, this is pesh, man.
Now what on that is the hell on you?
What? That's enough for them. Move your hair.
I didn't do something on you.
Because I did, right? Come on, hair. Put your hair out. Move it.
Why? Why do you want to talk? On your honor.
Because I wanted to. Right, go.
Mama will tell you.
Now she'll tell me off. I don't really care. To you.
I'm loving that balance.
Thanks to get to you.
He really moved that
Move.
320 yards
Just
and in the
between
fairway.
you. Plenty there.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Settles in over the putt. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Right, enough! Dude, go back to your fucking bed.
Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par.
Blake, pick your dummy up. Blake.
So we're getting set now for the second 9 here at the old course at St. Andrews. And Frank, a chance to get off to a good start here with the short par 4 10th.
Yeah, it's a very subtle hole. It just looks straight ahead in front of you, but there is gorse down the left if you stray, especially into a head breeze. But really, it's drivable for most of the players. Just got to worry about those 2 bunkers. There's sort of short right of the green. You finish up there, then this hole becomes a little more difficult.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
What?
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
It's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Fucking what is it,
That hurts
guys?
right there, Frank.
Yeah, he's got to knuckle down now, though, because, you know, we've seen it before.
Right,
Rich.
okay, go
Two
on,
putts
play
turn
us
into 3,
in.
4.
Why is that? Why are you
Make
so
sure
watching
you
it?
can limit the damage here.
Not his best
Why
effort
is he
right there.
watching
That's
it?
a bogey, and now 3 over. Frank, what are we looking at here at the famed par 3 11th at the old course?
The most difficult, there is only 2 par 3s here at the old course, and this one's called high, elevated green, and you've got to fly that bunker that protects the front of the green. That's called the strap bunker. You really take anything on this green. You make a 2 here, you'll make a move on the field.
He wants to take it, like, you know, like Paw Patrol. Hey! Look, there's Paw Patrolling again. No, give me it, it's annoying, I'm fucking tired. No, just watch it. Go and watch it together. He's riding the person at the fucking sofa. I swear to God, no more fucking bed now. No treats today for any. Look at the fucking waist. Look at the bloody waist. Look at the waist. You finished? No. No one's getting treats. You go back to your bed. No. I'm ending the stream. No, I'm not getting nothing. No! I'm not getting any treats. It's 2 in the bloody morning. Fuck off!